Uh,
What's going on, world? Got my boy Frankie Diamonds in the building. What's going on with you, bro?
what's good? I'm good, fam.
Hey, man. We had to do this one, man. Your boy Umar, aka what you called him? What you called him earlier?
Conscious Crooks, but his thing is politics over Punani. What's it? Consciousness over coochie, politics over Punani.
aka
I mean,
run me my donations. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much all he cared about. You know what I mean? But let's talk about recently Umar was on Nick Cannon's class and LordJamar and Rod Digger and Godfrey's Yada Mean or Yanada Mean Godcast. And I just wanted to hear your thoughts on the interview, man. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it for a second.
well, first of all, I wish Godfrey was on that shit. Rod Digger really wasn't a part of it until like the last couple minutes when things got out of hand. She was like playing Mater, like
Mm-hmm.
baby. And I will say, because like I said, it's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. I know we're gonna talk shit about Umar, but I will say, if you watch the other interview with Nick Cannon, it's night and day. It's like seeing a whole nother person, because when it comes to articulating the Black structure and the Black struggle, no one does it better than Umar. I will say that. The shit he says sounds good. It comes off intelligent. You're like, yeah, but he lost me on the grits thing. We spent 11 million on grits. I'm like, nigga, you can't compare niggas feeding their kids and basic nutrition to Black women buying $800 weaves. You can't do that. But I mean, it was cool. I just felt like I'm an observer. I'm not a psychiatrist, but I'm 30 years old. And I know usually when you ask someone something that they've been accused of and they get angry and they show emotion towards it, there's usually some truth behind it. And he got pissed when Jamar started on him, asking him just what the people wanted. He was just saying, yo, the people want to know how much have you raised? He told us 750K. I didn't know that. He says that there's groups that they have where you can see the updates, and he was just asking regular questions that people want to know. And Umar was getting rattled, and I'm like, bruh, anyone who thought you was a scammer before they watched that interview, they didn't walk away feeling any different. They walked away feeling even more confident because he just gave you his emotions, kind of gave it away.
Well, the funny thing is, this Umar chapter for me has been going on since like 2014, 2015. I know my introduction to him was through Hidden Colors, Tariq Nasheed, the DVD series. And from that moment forward, I seen him here in Baltimore. He did a speaking engagement down at the Multi Arts Cultural Center. And like you said, man, he knows his shit. But the problem with him, and it's always been like that, is when people, it's like, how can you need people help? How can you ask people to help you manifest a vision and an idea? But when they ask about investing in it, you automatically become defensive. You know what I mean? And he don't even, like, people don't even insinuate that he's doing anything bad. It's like, as soon as you ask these questions, emotions are automatically triggered.
Oh yeah, I was like, he gives it away, and I was like, say most time when someone's accused of some shit and it's somewhat true, they get agitated. Because if you know it true to your heart that whatever someone's accusing you of is bullshit, you're like, nah, I'm good. You don't sweat it. But he flipped the switch, and there's no talking to him once he goes off and starts yelling. He's so arrogant, and it's because, I'm the number one scholar. And his arrogance just, it takes over the whole interview, and he won't let you get a word in. Rod Digger had to play chaperone and at slash moderator, because you couldn't, once he got upset, it's like, yo, I can't even hear what Jamar's saying. Like, bro.
Man, shout out to LordJamar, because for one, I have to say salute to him and his platform and the transition and the adjustment that he's been making since the whole cancel Vlad movement. The guests, the content, he's been A1 when it's coming to
He made a
adjustment.
lot of connections. Yeah, he made a lot of
Yeah.
connections, I'm assuming, working with Vlad, though. So he knows a lot of more people now than he did probably 10 years ago. Current people, because he comes from that older era.
Yeah.
Most of them people are no longer relevant or they dead. That Vlad, it did help him, like, as far as building a younger audience and networking.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, he's always had respect within the culture of hip hop. I know me, being 30 years old, I can't speak for all the other kids, but I remember some of his verses on Brand Nubian's albums. I can quote some of your bars and all that shit. So he always had something some kind of respect from the culture. I even remember on Oz and shit. He had a couple scenes on there and shit. I think he was like a 5% on there and shit.
I remember that. Yeah, he was on Sopranos one episode.
Oh shit! I gotta pull that up on YouTube. I gotta find that one. I don't remember that.
On Sopranos one episode. Yep.
But yeah, you said shout out who?
Uncle Junior.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say that the way that he approached the whole situation, because it was gonna happen. He was gonna have to ask those questions, and for years, platforms like the Breakfast Club and many other platforms would have this man on and never ask him the questions that the people truly wanted answers to. We've heard him do interviews on radio stations where he done snapped on callers. I mean, dude, you're supposed to be helping and servicing people's children. You know what I mean? And the way he acted on the episode with LordJamar, and basically saying, "Bruh, I don't need no help outside of you just giving me your money."
Yeah, that was it for you. That's one thing I say about like the Nick Cannon interview. And like I say, I know people don't want to, but that first, they did that a year in advance. You could tell because he gave it away when he brought up the incident. I don't know if you watch football when Myles Garrett from the Browns hit the Mason Rudolph, the quarterback, last year in November with that helmet. Mm-hmm. He brought that up as a recent event. And I said, hold up, this was a year ago. So this wasn't like, oh shit, Nick Cannon went against the grain after the Professor Griff stuff. No, he sat on that Umar video from last year. Now, why didn't Nick Cannon donate money? I don't know if you don't take Umar's school serious, but I'm pretty sure he could have donated some bread or whatever, did it anonymously, but he didn't. But long story short, he didn't ask Umar any of those questions you were just talking about with LordJamar. And I think it comes from, it's like some kind of syndrome where a lot of niggas don't feel like when they on a regular platform like me and you got, which is similar to Godfrey and Jamar, they carry themselves like they on the block. The way Umar carried himself on that interview compared to these radio stations, these, Breakfast Club, is night and day. It's complete different. But when you on a black network platform, you acting, you showing the fuck out. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but I mean, it makes sense. And far if what you're saying is that the interview he sat on for a year, it makes sense because, to be honest with you, Umar has been doing damage control ever since the Roland Martin interview. Ever since then,
that was one who showed his ass. But that's another black platform. I've yet to see him major platform act like that. He's normally major platform. I don't know if you remember Ari Spears. He fought Joe Williams 5150.
I remember that.
He was only acting like that because he's like, fuck it, this ain't no real radio station. We in Corey's storage. We in Corey's storage garage. I got Tangeray, yada, yada. He he never acted like that at no real radio station. He wouldn't go on Breakfast Club and act like that.
Right.
It's almost like that. The white man's ice is better than the black man's ice. That kind of syndrome. Like, so you think you can just carry yourself any old kind of way on a black platform?
Kanye do it too.
But when you up there with the corporate shit, you behave. Omar always behaves when he's at the Breakfast Club. At iHeartRadio, you know what I mean? iHeartRadio ain't having that shit.
That's my thing with Umar is his attitude, his ego, and he doesn't strike me as a person that's sincere when he's telling, like he did an interview the other day talking about transparency, and it was the way he said it. Y'all want transparency? Like, bro, do you understand that when people want to invest their money, you can go to the stock, right? You can pull up the stock market. You can see the trajectory, the trends.
Mm-hmm. People want to. According to him, you got to be a part of that WhatsApp group. They got a group on. I'm like, you got to get more professional than that, bro. Get you an app. You know what I mean? Ways you could get apps. Alakazam and them done it for years. Get you an app, my nigga, and post the updates. Not like group chat.
Listen. I'm gonna keep it a bang with you, right? I knew he was capping because he said he made it 48 hours ago from the interview. That's red flag.
Niggas been donating since 2014, and you just now giving them some kind of daily chart.
Basically saying, if you want answers, pay me. Now, I went to the website. I went on there last night. because I said, okay, let me check it out because I wanted to make sure that it was up to date for one. It wasn't no bootleg shit from 2010. That was one. But secondly, I wanted information, right? Because again, LordJamar represented the average person who's just not in this conscious bubble. They're not familiar with all the black white man shit. They just hear a black man out here trying to get a school to provide for the black children, and they want to be a part of it wholeheartedly. There is no ill will. So you go to the website, right? Every goddamn tab you tap, that shit goes straight to PayPal. There's no information. It's just basically PayPal amount broken down into packages. From bronze, silver,
gold. Yeah, I heard the package setup he's got. Bronze, silver, gold, and there's no information on the conditions or no pictures.
Nothing, bro. The shit fly. But when you tap on it, even the podcast, the nigga don't even give you a snippet of it. Whatever the podcast is on, I gotta find it. I gotta see who's listening to this shit.
Podcast?
That's what, as soon as you hit the podcast button, send the shit straight to PayPal.
Damn, yo, that's some scammer type of behavior, bro. Look,
what the fuck?
Wow, I gotta check this out myself.
Listen, I'm gonna put the link in the description as well as y'all video about the grits because that shit was good. Y'all gotta check that shit out too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Grits, man, because I'm like, bro, like, don't make people feel bad about feeding their kids or whatever the fuck you choose to eat every day. Don't make me shit, but nutrition, daily nutrition cannot be compared to women spending $800 on weave or niggas spending $2,000 in the Gucci store. Like, that's different, you know? And his mindset is if we stop spending money on that type of stuff and donate it to him, the school can happen faster.
Bro, all I see is him gaining weight. I see him balling with gift cards and shit.
Eating good.
Shape ups and J's. Listen, bro. And for one, he telling on himself so much because in the video, he said about 2/3 of the money went to the school.
Wow, you should have played that clip before the video. Play that clip.
Bruh. When I tell you 2/3, my nigga, 2/3, it should have been all the money. Dummy, all the money should have went to the school.
So it was $750,000, if I'm not mistaken. He said he raised so far, right?
I don't know, man.
He said, I heard 750K. I heard 750K, and I heard he's already bought a couple buildings, and they're in great condition. And it's like, okay, can you give any people any updates? Because I do understand the reason why I had so much, and for so many years, I defended him and was like, yo, be patient, because I know you got to get certified, you got to get teachers, he wants everything to be all black. You got to get food to feed these kids, uniforms. It's a big fucking, it's not an overnight thing, especially when you ain't got no help, according to him. But when you break it down like he got that website, and then the fact that you only spending, only 2/3 has been put towards the school?
Exhausted. Now, like you said, right? Even LordJamar said, you know what, guys? He said, sometimes it ain't always about donating money. He said, you can donate your time, right? And Umar was like, look, no disrespect to your brother, because remember the story, he got into the whole story about, how his brother pretty much started a school back in the late 80s, got it out the mud, got it out the trenches, right? Wasn't out here begging for donations or none of that. He figured out a way, and it's still existing to this day. This man, Umar, decides to say, well, I don't really care for that story, and I don't even want to sit down with the money. I just want the money. Like, what?
He contradicts himself because you just said what you just said. He keeps talking about how lazy black people are. And a lot of the points he makes is true. But I'm like, bro, the way you're going about this school is kind of lazy. You summed it down to just donations. What about people who just want to help come up and maybe a landscaping company, a black landscaping company want to help you with the grass and shit. Maybe people want to help donate in other ways. It's a pandemic. Some people ain't got money to give away. Everything is just give me money and shut the fuck up. And it's like, bro, that's a lazy way of going about building an institution. You're contradicting yourself because that's it. Just give me some money and that's it. If you can't give me no money, you get the fuck out of my face. That's
man. Well, listen, man. It's the epitome of what our people have to go through, right? And why we wanted to do this Conscious Crooks segment, right? Where we talk about these individuals within our community exploiting, just using information and knowledge and, for monetary value and gain, you know what I mean? Taking advantage of ignorant people, because some of these people, it's no excuse. Now, for those who don't know, you got pages like Make a Change, shout out Make a Change. You got pages like Lennon Honor, Anti-Afro Svengali. These are pages that's been dedicated to presenting information to the public. Now, Make a Change, I love Make a Change, right? Because Make a Change, they go straight to the Delaware website. They look up the tax information on the school, and all that stuff is public record. So you can't be vague about certain stuff like that. So the buildings that he purchased, you can get, a whole 10-year history of the building. You get what I mean? And it tells you right then and there, the updates, when's the last time he's paid taxes on the building.
That's work, what you're talking about. That's work that some niggas don't want to do. You got people who donated probably who knows how much money that ain't did none of that research you talking about. They just donate.
They should, right?
Yeah, but because like I was saying in the beginning, when it comes to this pro-black shit, this black struggle, he is so articulate. He is such a great speaker. He's really got people running off their emotions. You watch his interview with Nick Cannon, and he'll make you want to run through a brick wall and empty out your wallet. You know what I mean? I'm serious. Like, you know what I mean? When he's at peak and you've seen him speak, don't he motivate you and make you feel like if you're one of those gullible people who don't know no better, you're not that.
Right.
He make you want to get up, run through a brick wall, put on a dashiki and empty your bank account. It gets you off of the emotions. Because like I say, but no disrespect to Tariq, none of the other conscious crooks, nobody talks that shit better than Umar. That's how he's able to wheel these motherfuckers in. That's the bait on the fishing rod. And everything else, the bullshit comes afterwards. That's how he gets you. Watch this shit.
You're right.
I'm telling you, it'll make you be like, yeah, he telling that shit. He kicking that shit. Then you get that interview and you like.
But like for me, like you said, I'm not a casual. I've been following him for a while, so I've seen him on platforms in which he articulate himself so greatly, and you won't get me to oppose anything he says outside of the legitimacy to his whatever it is he provides to the people. I don't know if he's an actual therapist, psychiatrist. He throw these labels out there. He said
is he related? Is it been proven that he's related to D. Marcus Garvey? Because he always been. That's what the school's supposed to be. Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey.
There you go. I don't know. I know that the family, from what I researched, the family came out and said we are, Frederick Douglass is no relation to no damn Umar. You know what I mean?
Damn, they just disband a nigga. Huh? But like you say, you're not a casual. Yeah, I'm not a casual. Guess what? Casual sheeps is 85%. It's always gonna be more casuals in them than it is niggas like us. So yeah, the casual black person was they watch him speak that shit, and that's how you get him. And as long as he can articulate himself well, as much as people like us are putting it out there and saying, hey, y'all, I'm not telling you who to support, but keep your eyes open like a deer in the headlights. Keep your fucking eyes open because, yeah, it sounds good until you get to the money part and you're like, okay, where's the results? You know what I mean? And even if you haven't raised enough money, it's no reason why people shouldn't have up-to-date information on what the fuck does the building even look like?
Listen, I'm ready to ride down there. I know a couple, my man Monty, there's a couple people on YouTube, they done been down there already. Break-ins, it had a recent fire back in the end of June, July. It's a lot, but at the end of the day, he's always selling it to you that we need more money, y'all, to get this thing off the ground. And his whole approach and how he treats, general people that just want to help when they ask about, questions and investing, it's just a complete turnoff. And when he snapped on, pounding his chest and name another dude on YouTube, brother, name
it. One scholar. Yeah, he was on some Hulk Hogan shit. I'm the number one scholar. I thought he was gonna rip his shirt off like Hogan. Because he automatically assumes you're a hater. If you question his knowledge on anything, or if you question anything about those damn donations, in his mind, he goes off. Hater, block. He'll cuss you out on live on Instagram and block you. And it's funny, but that's what he does. He doesn't handle rejection or someone questioning him well at all. He acts like a professor, like everybody's had a teacher like that. It was an asshole. It was, if you question anything they said, they looked at it like it was a threat or it was some level of disrespect. It's like, nah, I just want to know. Like, I know me and him do it because I ask a lot of questions.
Right. But that's what makes me not believe in this whole shit about him saving our black boys and shit, because they not your children. And you got to be able to be around parents and understand that, you know, these are their children. And the way he carried is just like, give me the money, drop the kids off, and we good. That's how he carried.
I need I need proof. I want to see some testimonies, some confessions of some of these parents or these boys that he claimed he's saved all these years. I've been saving young black boys' lives. I've been stopping black men from suicide. Where's the confessions? Where's the testimonies? I could come on here and say, yeah, I've saved 5 people, you know, lives, and I could be making a fucking bullshit lie. You know what I mean? Like, where's the proof? Like, I don't know anybody from Philly to come out yet and endorse him as a legit psychiatrist, like he says. You know, he got the information right. He talks about mental health and how it's basically a cover up for the pharmaceutical industry, because you go to tell them you're depressed, your doctor's just going to give you a prescription. You know, he's got that stuff makes sense. He got some of his information be on point. It's just the attitude, you know, the turn off, bro.
That's just what I said, the ego, right? But
yeah, the ego of the Negro.
But this is how I got him, right? This is how I know that all that shit he doing is cat. We've been in a pandemic since when, Frankie? How long is
March?
March, right?
Almost a baby. Yeah, about almost 9 months.
Okay. Kids, they virtual learning right now, right? They got virtual school, right? Where is the Dr. Umar virtual school at right now? Where's it?
I think something about he thinks the kids need hands-on. He wants them to be around other black children, black teachers. He wants them to have uniforms. He wants it to be traditional. That's what he said earlier this year. He wants it to be all black, in your face, hands-on. It ain't the same at home. You know, that's his thing. But yeah, it was an opportunity where he could have tested it at least. But I'm like, school might not never be the same again. Some schools not open back. You know what I mean?
They're giving out free tuition. Harvard, okay? Big programs giving out free fucking tuition for education right now. And you mean to tell me that me and you, Frankie, we you know, you got your shit going on in your life, bro. I got my shit, and we managed to just come together all here, right? And we just put it. This man can't sit down an hour out the day, put a nice little lesson together, Umar's lesson for the day, and just put it out there to his people, broadcast it to the masses, bro, on Skype, all these Periscope, Twitch. I mean, you name
it. He just contradicts himself. And like I said, even when in the other interview I watched, I know you didn't see it, when he talks about how they took the trades out of the black community and made us go back to school and made us go to school. Like, our generation is the college generation. It did nothing but left most of us in debt by design. And they told us, go to school, get your master's, get your PhD. But you're selling us a school. So, I mean, you basically said that school isn't the answer for black men and women to do good for themselves. Because, like, for example, your grandfather and them probably didn't have an education like that. I'm just saying, just randomly. But they lived a lot better, you know, than niggas is living now. So it's like, you made the point that education isn't the real answer to solving black poverty. So why the fuck are you pushing the school? So, you know what I mean? Like, you're pushing the school, but you're telling me education isn't the answer.
That's because the vision has to be so grand, right? To where as though people like, oh, okay, I gotta, you know, like I said, even on the interview, he said, like, bro, if you can't afford the bronze package, it was the way he said it. He was like, if you can't afford the bronze, then just hit my cash app, you know, send me $1 or something. I'm like, yo, you can't tell people how, for one, this is how I feel. I was told, you can't, you know, tell a man who he sleep with and how he spend his money. That's just principles. You get what I'm saying? So however people that work hard for their money decide to spend their money is their damn concern.
Their money. And he'll bring up other things and say, well, y'all niggas spend money on weed. Y'all spend money on video games, grits, hair, weed. I said, yeah, but there is a portion of black people who don't do nothing but pay their bills and they have nothing left after. I've been there. You pay your shit and you got nothing after. And you can't splurge on anything. Some people ain't got shit to give. Honestly, some motherfuckers.
What a sack.
The money they got for cigarettes and gas. If that, then a lot of niggas ain't got money left over to just cough out. But he'll make it seem like, yeah, clean up your bad habits and maybe you'll have some money to donate to Mr. Umar. And I'm like, bro, niggas can stop buying grits. That ain't gonna stop you from building that damn school. Like,
But again, like when you get to the market, right? Like, okay, you see the ad, they got grits for sale. Okay, whatever the fuck. You go to the market, nigga, the grits is there. I get my grits, I pay and I go. I don't get to the damn market. And they like, hey, well, you know, we got them for sale, but you know, nigga, we get instant results. It's no matter where we're paying. There's transparency.
Yeah, and I've never been to a store and they were sold out of grits. So I mean, I'm this $11 million. I know niggas love grits, but this $11 million stat, I'm like, nigga, I ain't never seen them run out of grits at any store.
That's the ignorance that he want to act like he wants to make it seem like he's the one best fit, you know, to help heal our people. But the way you speak down on him, it make me look at him differently. Like there's a form of self-hatred, you know, for his people. You know what I mean? There's there's a resentment because don't no one want to fund you and your habits.
I think it's when he's a conscious man like him, on top of it, who's very intellectual, very smart. I think he just takes advantage of how further advanced he is than the average Black person. So he can take advantage of your mind. He can talk you into, like I say, putting on that dashiki, that Pan-African shit, run through a brick wall, give him your money. He takes advantage of the mindset. He's advanced more than the average Black person. So he just takes advantage of it and tries to outsmart you. Yeah, let me throw these little stats out there and make you feel guilty and then make yourself say, man, I could donate a little something. If I could spend 20 on some weed, Umar, right, I could throw him that 20 instead. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just basic.
Mean, listen, I'm just joking with you right now, but I don't really know if he's that sharp, right? Because I know you remember the clip when he had the phone upside down, Lil Wayne played in his ear. I'm gonna call you right back. He's had many of goofy moments.
Yeah, I did it. You know, I don't know if you've seen it. I did a video a couple months ago about Umar's like strange behavior. There's a whole Twitter page of just him randomly snapping on IG.
What is it? It's no context. I think it's no context Umar.
Yeah, but I forgot the title of it, man. Y'all follow me. I'll look it up. But he was it was just like, yo, his behavior had been odd as fuck. He hanging out in some random park, freezing in the cold. When Kobe died, he was like, that was the pharmaceutical industry. They sabotaged that helicopter, and that's why Kobe died. I mean, he was bugging, and I was like, bro, is he using y'all money to do drugs? Like, the nigga was wilding. And I played a few clips where you'd be like, bro, he's becoming
he had that man. You hear that in the background. The fuck?
That booger sugar, because he was like, I'm like, bro, he's become a parody of himself. He's like, if, you know, Boondocks, they would make fun of little characters. If they brought Boondocks back, they would have a UmarJohnson type character. They put a hat on him and have them say all kinds of crazy.
I actually like the parody Umar better than this bullshit that he's selling on people now.
The parody Umar made me not take him serious for a while. I was like, bro, I don't know what the fuck. This is not the same guy I respected in 2014. Bruh. He gained a little bit more of that respect back with me with his recent interview with Nick, and then he did something else. But he lost me again with that grit shit, and he lost me again with that Jamar shit.
Listen, man. Well, I stopped following him after he started calling Black people trifling because they didn't donate more money. Now, I think it's a clip, I can send it to you, where there was a goal he didn't.
Yeah, he'll make you feel guilty about spending money on the way you spend it. And you, like you said, you can't tell nobody who worked hard all week to spend with their money. If they want to spend their whole check at the strip club, it's not helping them or our community, but I didn't work those 40 hours like that man. So let him do his thing. But he'll make you feel guilty about your personal interests and because you're not donating to him. Like, oh, that's the reason why y'all ain't got no money for me. Y'all rather spend money on Wendy's, and y'all rather pay for Apple Music and this and that. That's his mind. That's his way of trying to get you to guilt. It's like guilt syndrome. Like, I'm gonna make you feel guilty about not supporting me. Meanwhile, y'all buying Yeezys for $400. He'll say something like that. You spent $400 on some ugly sandals from Kanye West, but you can't get. That's it. Yeah, so I already figured it out the game with him.
Yeah, but that's him assuming though, right? Because I don't got no damn Yeezys.
But we not the casuals. But a lot of these niggas broke as fuck got the Yeezys on. I'm like, and them shits look like Crocs. You know those niggas is rocking. I'm like, yo.
Niggas got condoms on their feet and shit. Fuck is you got on your feet, boy?
Shit is crazy. Might get one toe to come out.
Man, that's the thing with him. Shout out Comedy and Conscious. Like I said, man, his parody version of him is so much needed at times when situations happen, right? Like earlier, I sent you the clip where the guy's allowing his dog to lick him in the mouth. Like, I can think of so many memes, UmarJohnson memes, right then and there that apply for that. So
once you become a meme, you're not ever to be taken seriously again. I think that was the whole point of my video. I was like, bro, it's gonna be hard for him to be taken seriously as a scholar or a black leader or a speaker when you see the joke that he's become. Like, you've become a joke.
Yeah,
you know,
smoking on backwoods and Russian creams.
Yeah,
who smokes on Rellos, man?
He been smoking on live or something?
You remember the clip I sent you about a month? It went viral about 2 months ago. Before Bronny went viral for smoking. Umar went viral for smoking.
No, Umar said y'all pack.
Man, he said he was I don't know, he was over the grave site or some sort like that. He was trying to create smoke, and he had some like game leaves or some shit like that. He just started smoking the whole. Yeah, he said wasn't no weed in there.
Did it look like weed smoke? Did it look? Yeah, I know the difference, nigga.
Man, hey, listen, bro. The way he was hitting it, I think he was just smoking a Rello, bro.
Okay. Yeah. Either way, it didn't look good.
No, it didn't. It's funny because I'm sitting here thinking to myself, right? Like, take you for instance, right? Imagine you lived a life, because again, we all work. We got responsibilities we got to take care of, you know what I mean? Regardless of what it is, you know what I mean? You got to get it. But imagine if me and you didn't have no type responsibilities and we put all that on our viewers and we just came on here every day and was like, it's your responsibility to make sure this platform is up to par. Give me our, like, it seems unreal in my mind, you know?
Yeah, niggas be telling me that it's some of the YouTubers on here, not to get off subject, they've been on here for like 10 years. And I ain't gonna say his name on your shit, but he'll be like, donate to the channel, Cash App in the description. I'm like, nigga, I have not seen you buy an updated camera in the last 10 years. I have not seen you get a logo. I have not. This thing got 100,000 subscribers.
I think I know who you're talking about too.
You don't put no money on the channel. You know what I'm talking about. Had the videos or audio clips. I'm like, you don't like me, nigga. And I'm like, bro, how much you donate? And Patreon. Between Patreon and donations, and none of you're using this to pay your bills, you know? But you were saying, I couldn't, especially in a pandemic. I think it's a lot of that donation type of syndrome. I had a girl ask me gave me her Venmo Cash App 2 days ago. Never talked to her a day in my life. She just randomly DMing niggas on Twitter like, can you give me money? I need $100. Anything you need. That has become, this is the GoFundMe Cash App era, bro. Like, people have gotten so comfortable. There's a lot of Umars out there, actually. Telling you how to build a school, you know, but you got niggas out here, man, half of these motherfuckers got Cash App and shit in their bio, and I'm like, yo, what's going on with society? Like, y'all just want to beg y'all way through it? What happened to hard work?
You know what's funny, because of motherfuckers like Umar, I'm sitting over here like, at some point our platforms are gonna have to, you know, present some type of Cash App, some Patreon, but you know, it'll be there. I would never you know, beg motherfuckers to donate. If you want to, you can, but as a content creator, it's our responsibility and obligation to make sure that we invest in ourselves and our platforms. So I get what you're saying with Homeboy, but it's just, you know, I guess the timing and such, because once one person did it, the guy that you was talking about in the other clip, you know, with the audio clips and stuff, now you got a whole wave of people doing it. You know what I mean? There's people making money off of just stealing, you know, people's clips off their Instagram pages and shit like that. So it's definitely a you know, a dog eat dog world in this YouTube game, for real. I'm not even gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
But like I said, I don't know how to, like, this Umar shit, because recently LordJamar went on Hip Hop Uncensored. Shout out to them, and he actually talked about the interview he did with Umar and how it left a bad taste in his mouth. Moving forward, saying that, you know, if I ask a person a simple question and they triggered like that, you know, imagine how a regular person on the street get treated. You know what I'm saying?
He talked to Jamar like he was a regular person on the street, though. Like I said, that goes back to just having respect. I don't know if it was because it was a podcast platform, but even Roland Martin, he didn't act like that. He didn't act like that on that show until somebody who he felt was cooning, then he went off on that particular person. But he treated Jamar like a regular nigga on the street. He didn't really come at him like on some, this is your platform, brother. I respect you. He came up there like, niggas was on the block. And then he even took shots at YouTube niggas. He was like, yo, you YouTube niggas ain't
YouTubians.
you
fuckers are YouTubians.
Yeah, YouTubians. I'm building an infrastructure. I'm building an institution. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay. I'm not asking donations though either, nigga.
Exactly. Build it, nigga. Build it on your own then, nigga.
Oh, God. And I'm like, Nick Cannon has got money. I'm like, nigga, ask Nick Cannon for some fucking donations. You sat across from this nigga a year ago. He couldn't give you $250?
Man, Nick ain't doing. People in the industry with money and know about investing and shit like that, they smart enough to know that a person with no business plan, okay, that gets down, to the business as to how this shit is going to be ran, how it runs. He has no overhead. I mean, everything goes through him, and he doesn't need help.
Is there staff in place? Do you have a secretary? Do you have a manager? Do you have an agent? Do you have teachers? Is the school certified? You could have a school and not be certified. I worked at a college for a year. The school was not certified. Them girls was graduating and they was being janitors, nigga. The school was certified. A lot goes into it that he ain't talking about, and that's why I never took it seriously and never donated. I'm like, bro, I need more information. I don't care if it's a $10 donation. Until you give me some real information, you're not gonna get real donations from people who ain't gullible like that. Because those questions we asking regular motherfuckers who just sitting there mesmerized by him talking, they don't even think any of that. They just like, yo, this shit sounds good, man. I'm with this brother. And I was 24 in 2014. I felt the same way. I was like, yo, this right here need to run for president.
But you know what's funny? That nigga ain't no Khalid Muhammad. He ain't no Malcolm. He ain't talking that real shit. No, come on. Niggas that talk that real shit, you know where they get put at. You know what I'm saying? You see the picture in the background. Most of our leaders was assassinated for talking that real. So
if they feel like you're a real threat, they'll definitely get rid of you.
I mean, he just a nigga in the corner of where he at, making his videos and bless him. Because honestly, yo, there has to be some kind of mental issues because, like you said, man, some of these clips he ain't looking healthy. He ain't looking in his right frame of mind, and it's kind of sad,
The silly shit. I mean, the repeating the stuff over and over like he's a preacher. He has preacher antics, but he constantly takes shots at black preachers. But I'm like, bro, you act like a black preacher. As far as the money, the donations, the repeating yourself, consciousness over coochie. All of these politics over Punani, all of these one-liners that he comes up with. I'm like, nigga, do you practice this shit in the mirror before you go on live? He's got to.
He got it. I don't know. He must be watching them Creflo segments, man.
I guess so, but I'm like, bro, I can't take it seriously talking about how much black preachers pimp out the community. Yeah, a lot of that is true. There's a lot of TDJ and Creflo dollars, but bro, you trying to do the same shit they doing.
Shit, he been.
The only difference is they already got it, and they got a tax-free business, but they already got it. TD Jake's got like a franchise, like his church is like McDonald's, nigga. They got that shit in Texas, Cali. They got a couple. They got change. Yeah,
it's lit. It's in the words of Travis Scott. It's lit.
Yeah, it's lit. I'm like, Umar is like, bro, you want to be like them niggas. You trying to be the next TD Jakes, but just not on a religion platform,
Man, I just only thing I could ask you know what? For Creflo Umar, I really think that OnlyFans could be for him.
Man, I printed out a list. I'm sure there's a lot of motherfuckers making a lot of bank off that right now. You know what I mean? Fucking China Black, Tiger. Who else they got on that motherfucker? Erica Menda. Like this, it is what it is. It's wavy.
But you see, but the difference with OnlyFans is you have to produce results. And with Umar, it seemed like he want to collect all that money.
Yeah.
Because again, like you said, we've been following him since 2014. He got the money back in like 2016 or something, but he lost it because of this conscious stripper. You don't remember that?
Oh, I remember he got caught up with the stripper. He lost the money.
Well, remember, that was what he alleged. He said that due to the allegations of him dealing with the conscious stripper because he was going out there telling people that he was abstinent, right? He wasn't having sex with any woman or none of that.
Yeah.
And he basically got exposed and the text and all, that shit was out 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he was caught in the strip club dipping in that dipping in the cookie jar. I remember that. Yeah.
On his Tristan shit. But what's funny is that ultimately he said that he lost all the donors, okay? The investors, he had NBA players, people that was willing to put up big money behind him. And since then, he had to start back over.
So you think LeBron and them was gonna, number one, donate to him? Number two, you think that video was strong enough for them to say, nah. So they were invested, and then that was the reason why they decided not. Okay.
I mean, honestly, again, you have a situation in which you got caught lying, right? And okay, what man ain't, he's human. He's a man. You know what I'm saying? Who's not attracted to lust? Okay, cool. But why not come out and say that? And just say, hey.
Lou Williams got caught at Magic City. Yeah, he told niggas he was going to a funeral. he told niggas he was getting wings. Like, it's just, you better off this. They call him Lemon Pepper Lou. That was the hardest thing to happen. He got a 1-game suspension. Just cough it up and tell it what it is. You're a man. And when he first said that, I said, okay, bullshit. Ain't no single man out here just straight up celibate and ain't doing shit. You know what I mean? Anybody who put that much stock in that fucking lie, that's on you. I wasn't surprised. This shit was funny to me.
Right.
It was dumb. Like, why go to a strip club? Why don't you just call the bitch and tell her to come through and y'all do it without the cameras? Don't you think that'd be a little bit more, it is 2016 out here when that happened. We got cameras.
Or how about this one? Be honest, my nigga.
Yeah, be honest.
Come on. Like, they didn't get mad at Bill. You know what I'm saying?
His dick sucked, and people laughed. Niggas thought it was cool. Niggas like, yo, that's the president right there. He black.
That's what I'm saying, bro. So in my mind, he has a hard time with being honest to the people that he seeks help from. You want the people's help, but when we need informations and further instructions and questions and things of that nature answered, it's fuck you, pay me, donor support, supporters donate, anything in between, you're a hater, fuck out my face.
Yeah, once he denounces you, it's very immature and childish. You ever have a conversation with someone and y'all have a disagreement? It could be about a favorite artist, some girl who likes Beyonce. And if you be like, I don't really like her, you a hater. And they just dismiss you and just, the conversation's dead at that point. That's him. He just gets straight to it. And there's no dialogue a lot of times. There's no, conversation. He's not going to sit there and talk to you like this and really answer your questions. He's going to call you a hater, cuss you out, block you, and chalk it up.
Man, I told you, I got blocked simply for just telling people. Yeah, this was a couple years ago or whatever, but I was in his comment section, seeing people on the fence. Some people saying, hey, give him time. Other people saying, hey, this man, he's not moving right. And I was just saying, hey, at the end of the day, you can't be mad at people for asking questions. That's what I said. And I got blocked.
Anything you can't ask, anything you can't question is usually bullshit. You know what I mean? They don't question this. It's in the Bible. Don't question that, because I said so. Anytime you can't question some shit, I got in trouble plenty of times in school growing up. You question something and they tell you can't. It's bullshit. I'd be like, yo, why we got to stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance? Teacher couldn't tell you. They say, you just do it. You just do it,
bro.
Yeah.
Like okay. I got another one, right? Okay, let's say this Umar. Let's say you got contractors, HVACers, all that shit, right? You got all these people at your school, and they don't give you no answer, insight, or whatever. They just say, Umar, give me the money, fuck out my face. I'm strongly confident that Umar's gonna be like, hold up, bro, we're not doing that.
Yeah, it's high school.
I need what? Transparency.
Yeah, right? And how are you gonna pay these fucking HVAC instructors, these teachers, how are you gonna supply food for the kids? Lunchtime. It costs money. How are you gonna pay these people? These niggas ain't gonna work for free. Who teaching for free? Even if they love their people, niggas got bills. I mean, if you're having too much money struggling just to get the school, what makes you think you got the money to actually? It's one thing to buy the school. Now you gotta have the money to run this fucking school. You know what I mean? It's like you buy a Benz, you get a Benz, you got good credit, you could probably get it and have a down payment, $400 a month. But the money that is gonna cost to take care of that shit, that's gonna be the real fucking thing. Like the maintenance. You know what I mean? I'm like, where are you coming? Where's the money that's gonna generate to run this fucking school? You claim you already got the product, the property. Okay, how are you gonna run this shit? This shit ain't gonna run on fucking free water and air.
Gift cards by y'all dumbasses supporting the man, Chili's, Best Buy gift card, all the shit that you
He definitely eating good. That nigga, he need to go to
Come on now. You need to go where?
PE class, fucking physical education. That nigga eating good.
Honestly, bro, I really don't see. I think his run is up. I really do. I think after the Umar, the LordJamar with the Godcast, I think ever since he went on there in that episode, I don't think it's gonna be pretty for Yo moving forward because he's very conscious of the platforms that he do get on, right? Because he want to make sure that they don't put him in a certain light in a manner where he has to be transparent. But after this one, I don't see him going on any more platforms outside of the ones that's gonna allow him to talk his shit.
Because like I say, the one with Nick and this is night and day because Nick didn't ask him for transparency and Nick didn't question his credentials, his education, and one thing I will say about that, why do we question his education? Maybe it's because he's opening a school, but I've never seen people question Dr. Oz or Dr. Phil. You niggas we assume they doctors, but when a black person say they're a doctor, hold up, let me Google this. Which school you went to? But anyway, yeah,
no, you make a valid point. I've said that for years, at least in our community. You know what I mean?
Our community. And I'm like, no, I've never done my research and if he's really got a doctorate. But damn, I've watched Dr. Phil plenty of times, and I never thought to myself, is he a real doctor? But all of a sudden, y'all niggas, so and so got to be a real doctor. But yeah, like I say, the Nick interview, he wasn't challenged. That's why that interview was smooth and it was like classic Umar. When he's challenged, you get shit like you got with LordJamar, And probably his best bet is to not do any more interviews with real niggas because real niggas is gonna ask the questions the people want to know, and that's what Jamar wasn't there for a lesson. Nick Cannon was there for a lesson. You know what I mean? Nick Cannon just sit there and learn, and he did. He talked most of the interview. Nick just stood there, soaked everything up like a sponge. He wanted to learn something. Nick is just now opening up his mind to this conscious world, this conscious community, and he just wanted to soak in some knowledge. Jamar has been in this conscious circle for 40 years. So you ain't teaching LordJamar anything. So he wasn't there for that. He's like, yo, bro, you can't school me. I want to know what's really good. And that's why that shit, didn't work.
Man, you know how New York is, man. A lot of leaders and shit. It was like 5%ers, you know what I'm saying? All kind of groups and shit like that has been around. And to be real with you, a lot of motherfuckers steal some of those leaders, teachers and shit, Dr. York and shit, and be out here spitting shit from Bobby Hemmett and shit like that, trying to act like it's they shit. But again, if you don't know, then you really wouldn't know for real. But at this point, I just hope people really consider about putting money in that man's hands because you ain't getting no results. You ain't getting nothing but a pillow, FDMG pillow, a goddamn Papa Smurf Scully. You ain't getting nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? And a motherfucking fuck you.
Ways you could do it. Sell some merch, nigga. Sell some t-shirts. Sell, you know what I mean? There's other ways you can create money. I could sit down with Umar and could come up with a better game plan and just say, fuck it. Let me just go on a rant and tell people, get black people mad and get money based off their emotions. You know what I mean? Like, I remember Tariq does it too. And like I said, Tariq wakes up and tries to find anything to piss black people off. Like one time they published a story, white people are more likely to get their second stem checks than black people. I'm like, y'all just trying to get niggas mad. Like, come on. It's already exhausting being black in America. Please don't wake me up and get me started on 100 at 8 o'clock in the morning. Like,
but that goes to show, like, people want to hear, or they want to hear, we like, I guess we lack so much leadership. There we go. We lack so much leadership in these communities.
These niggas are able to do the things that they're doing. There was no crooks like that. Well, I won't say completely because I wasn't around in the 60s, but it was less niggas like that, like Tariq, Umar, than when you had real black leadership. Because when you had the Panthers, MLK, Martin Luther King, hell, Jesse I don't want to say Jesse Jackson, my bad. But you
Well,
know,
you
going
can shout him
on.
out. You can shout him out.
Yeah.
Shout out, brother Jesse.
I didn't mean to say Jesse. I don't know if you ever see the movie. You ever see Sonny Carson, Education?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, that's my people's from Queens. But you know, when you have real fucking look at the movie, Ghostface samples it in the Iron Man.
Okay.
Education of Sonny Carson. But yeah, when you have real leadership back in those days, niggas like him couldn't move. You know what I mean? Niggas knew the real from the bullshit. You couldn't scam black people, but because there's a void of leadership since the 70s, it opened up a door for niggas like him, Tariq, and so on, and Polite and all of them to say, fuck it, now it's our turn. We're gonna profit off of black people's anger, all while not giving them any real solutions to change it. Because I could sit here and tell you all the problems we got, but if I ain't giving you no solution, what the fuck? I'm just getting you riled up, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, and that's what
I forgot what they call it. It's a certain term that they call it.
You're profiting off of our emotions, and we already are emotional people. You know what I mean? So you're profiting off of black people's emotions, and that's what they do to feed their families.
You know what? Shout out to Q Butter. There's people that's actually started schools, all right, in less time on a smaller scale. And Q Butter, I believe he's one of the individuals in New York that's actually opened a school. I think it's a charter. But you know, do your research. Like I said, there's people out here that then did what he's been trying to do for almost a decade now.
Oh yeah.
So
out there.
That's why I said at this point, if you, because again, you know, everyone, we all got to live in this shit, and I'm not gonna tell you who to support. Put your money in, like, do what you feel. You know what I mean? It's only when these narratives come up, and you know, we get to talking and calling out people that exploit our community, that's outside the community. Shout out to my man Young Pharaoh. Like, we got to be able to drain those within our community as well. You got to drain the swamp, because if we out here fighting on the field against the opposition, and you got niggas behind you stabbing you in your back, I mean, how is that true? You know, how are we truly progressing? And that's really what these people are doing.
That's why you haven't seen much progression with black people, and we've been at all that civil rights shit. And I was like, somebody said it, and I said, it's kind of fucked up. But they said, bro, the civil rights movement, our people did all that marching and shit for nothing. I mean, you get to vote and you get to go wherever you want, but have we really made progression? Like, you know what I mean? Like real progression. We got a few more. We got a couple of privileges now. Okay, now I get to go wherever I want. Now I get to go to school with white people. Now I get to vote. But you really ain't made that much progression. We're still very far fucking behind in the race. Like, we're way fucking behind. And we ain't really catching up like we should. You would think we would have caught up by now. You can't catch up like that.
I don't know. Do you think that we were more unified back then than we are today?
That's definitely, but we still were with 400 years programmed, like social engineering. You're behind, you know. But yeah, we were together, and you had black banks, black neighborhoods, Black Wall Street, Rosewoods, Florida. Yeah, we definitely were more, and it was more black homeowners back then. It was more black homeowners in the 60s than right now. It was more black people married. It was better for us, but grand scheme, you still fucking 200, 300, 400 years behind. You know what I mean? So, but we were together. I give you, we were. Integration.
I only say that because you always see this quote people say online, like, I'm not my ancestors. And I'll be like perplexed at it, because I'm like, dude, you know, our ancestors was whooping ass. They wasn't, you know, they wasn't no hoes, man. They got down with the shit.
It wasn't just one Nat Turner. It was actually a couple of Nat Turner type of riots that happened. That's just the one that was the most violent, so it stood out. Plus, he was a preacher and all of that. But nah, we had niggas that jumped off the ship that said, "Fuck it, I'd rather die." You know, people don't think about the hundreds of people who didn't even make it here. They said, "Fuck it." You know what I mean? It's not like everybody back. And then again, the most ignorant shit, somebody be like, I couldn't have been a slave. I'm like, bro, it's easy for us to say that, but if you were born into that shit and that's all you fucking knew, what the fuck? You know what I mean? It's no different than if you raised and where the fuck you from. If you were born in Kalamazoo, that's what the fuck you know. You ain't got no control over that.
Well, you know, that's more so of the lack of our history and shit like that. And we understand the historical context as to why we still
bro. I really don't think some of these motherfuckers understand the historical context.
They should. I mean, again, we got to understand our generation. We're a little different from the YouTube babies and beyond, you know, the internet babies.
Off it looking at a slave movie. I'm like, bro, these people lived it for their whole lives. It's gonna kill you to watch it for 90 minutes. Grow the fuck up. You know what I mean?
But I kind of understand why it turns people off. You know what I mean? Especially in 2020.
Yeah, it's getting old, but the answer is not like that Harriet movie. I slaughtered that shit a million times. They even talked about some movie. I don't know if it was supposed to come out where they were gonna do the opposite, where they had black slave owners and white slave.
It's on a Tubi or some shit like that. One of them
I'm like, bro, what the fuck is that? I'm like, you're disrespecting history as far as, you know what I mean? Is that some moral victory or some shit?
Just pandering, trying to.
It's pandering, and it's like nothing. Niggas don't have black people don't have the I don't want to say we are good-hearted people. Niggas couldn't have done that to other people, let alone for 250 years. That would never happen. There would never be a black slave catcher. You're just butchering history and confusing these kids.
But again, you see how they use these things to kind of put those false narratives out there to get us to subscribe to the shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was like the Harriet movie is groundbreaking. I said, bro, y'all made $12 million. Y'all didn't make no money off that fucking movie. But they was
of course.
Yeah, and then they gave her an Oscar. I was like, yeah, y'all, this whole thing was programmed. I didn't see nobody watch that movie that walked off saying, bravo. Like, stop it, man.
That's the world we in today, man. You get a dash of truth and, you know, fucking lies and propaganda. And if you challenge it, if you challenge those that push those phony narratives, the fake news, whatever you want to call it, you're going to be deemed as an extremist. You're going to be blocked, censored, all kind of shit that comes with this shit. So the point is, one thing I will say is that our grandfathers, our great elders, man, they knew bullshit when they heard it, okay? And maybe we need to start, you know, waking up to the bullshit. And because, again, I kind of moved away from the conscious YouTube community because I seen that it was infiltrated. You know what I mean? So many niggas from Sinetta and them, they coming in, stealing shit, selling it, putting it on DVDs. You know, it's just too much fuckery going on. That's not.
You gotta put me on with that later. You gotta let me know what's going on.
Sign up.
Not that I ever felt like I was a part of it. I was on like the mixtape underground YouTube shit. Like I'm one of the dirty niggas in the corner. I never really put my conscious community like that, but you know, I just speak real shit.
No, but like you said, you know, 24, you know, 23, 24, man, the spirit, you know what I mean? I'm bumping Pac every day and shit, Tupacalypse now. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, like I was really deep into it because you see the shit that our people going through every day. So like you said, people like Umar, Brother Polite, Tariq Nasheed, people come out and they start talking some truth, right? They start presenting themselves like their hope. But when you really look back, they ain't no different from Barack Obama and you know, the many motherfuckers that come into the communities, talk a good game, steal your money, and you know, go finesse somewhere else, you know, and buy some shit.
Yeah, chuck up the deuces on your ass. Fuck that. Like, I'm getting out of here. Like, rest in peace, John Singleton. We were talking about that one time, and I said, bro, I love John Singleton's movies, but he did a great job of exploiting his old community and didn't put shit back into it. I mean, all the movies, Boys in the Hood, Crash, Snowfall, one of the best shows out, fucking Baby Boy. I'm like, bro, Training Day. I think he did Training Day, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know about that. I know he did one of Fast and Furious.
So, but yeah, all the movies, I'm like, bro, y'all just exploit the hood and don't get. How much did The Wire do for Baltimore? It put y'all on the map, but did they do anything? They shot that shit in the fucking hood. Did they give anything back to the fucking community? They just exploited.
They just motherfuckers asking us questions about The Wire in 2020.
Yeah. They just, because it's more popular than it was when it was on. These niggas is late, but they just exploited the neighborhood for television, entertainment. They got their money, and the hood didn't get shit, but recognition and a bad reputation, maybe. You know, so it's like all this shit goes on. It happens in not just you know, the conscious leaders, but just all people that's successful. It seems like in general, like exploitation, all of it is nothing. Like Black Lives Matter. What has it changed your neighborhood? Ain't this shit for mine.
It's a lie.
They raised $100. Where is it at? You know, I'd like to ask them questions to them.
But they want our votes. They don't. You know what's funny, right? Because these politicians like Umar right now, they don't want you asking no questions, nigga. Just give me your vote. and get the hell out the way. Like that's how I kind of feel with the election shit too. You know what I mean? Like it's the
All of a
same
sudden,
game.
Trump got a plan for you. All of a sudden, Trump got a plan for black people a month before the election. And I'm like, nigga, you ain't said nothing about us in 4 years. Now it's time to get reelected. You want to come up with some stimulus platinum plan and shit? I'm like,
He on his Umar shit. You can get the silver stimulus. You can get the bronze stimulus, the platinum stimulus.
Yeah, nigga was putting his face on the paper checks and shit, you know.
Man. It is what it is, man. Tell the people what you got coming up this week on the platform, Frank.
Oh yeah, Diamonds TV, man. You see my face if you look at the channel. You tag me in it because it's another guy who's got a Frankie Diamonds TV. I think he does like video games and shit. He's from Switzerland, but that's not me.
No,
I dropped a video today about some cop in your city getting knocked the fuck out. Honestly, I drop videos frequently as much as I can. You know, similar content to a certain degree. That's it, man. Just come fuck with the channel. You ain't, you know, look at the shit, then decide to subscribe. I ain't gonna bully y'all like Umar.
Nah, fuck all that. Subscribe, niggas. Y'all be subscribed to them goddamn. Yes, that too. Yeah.
And don't watch your shit.
Like, hit the notification bell. You know what I mean? Drop a comment.
Yeah, like that shit. Cause some motherfuckers, I know people got mad subscribers and they get some of the same views I be getting. I'm like, hold up, bro. You got 50,000 subscribers. You get 1,000 views a video.
Paid accounts.
A lot of motherfuckers watch it. Yeah, so I mean, I'd rather you actually subscribe and fucking watch. It makes me look good when you add the numbers up, but fucking watch the shit. You know what I mean? That's all I.
Please. I mean, everything you're saying is true. This is just one part of Conscious Crooks segment about Umar and all his shenanigans and bullshit. Next episode, we probably gonna talk Brother Polite. You know, he's a wise one. I ain't heard his name in a while. I wonder what he done off at.
The OG.
Yeah, him and his many wives. So we can get into that on another time. Yeah, his little financial packets.
Yeah.
Niggas be finessing, man. But till next time, Sensei Rip, Frankie Diamonds.
I know.
Peace.